Hey guys, what's up? It's June 18th, 2010, and I've been meaning to make a video for a few weeks, but just haven't found a way to get around to it. On May the 4th, so I guess like 6 weeks ago, I had my total hysterectomy done, and it was an interesting experience because I thought that it would go down a lot easier than it did. Having had brain surgery a few times in my life, and other types, I kind of thought, oh, this will be no big deal, this will be so much easier. No, for anyone that's ever had abdominal surgery, it's really painful. That said, everything went pretty well. My family, Lee and my grandmother, went out to Abbotsford, which is about an hour outside of the city and where I live, Vancouver, and we were admitted in the morning, and I had my surgery, and it was done in maybe a hour or so. And when I woke up, I had a catheter in. I think that's pretty common to prevent infection. They put a catheter inside of you into your bladder so that it can drain, well, what it does is it drains urine so that you don't have to try and pee, but you also can't hold it back. It just drains into a bag. And one of the complications that I had with Hysto, I'd never heard anyone talk about on YouTube, and it was definitely an emotionally difficult one for me. Basically, like, they leave the catheter in for a couple of days, or maybe just overnight, actually, and when you have surgery, you have an IV that keeps your fluid balance and electrolytes in check. So I had fluids going in my arm, but after surgery I woke up and was so thirsty I drank a ton of water and juice without really even thinking about it. I drank a couple liters that night and was still on IV. And basically what ended up happening is apparently my bladder became so distended from the IV fluids. They also give you drugs to make your body retain water while you're in surgery to prevent the uh, possibility of hemorrhaging, bleeding out, and needing a blood transfusion. So between antidiuretic drugs and retention drugs, as well as fluids that were in my IV and the fluids I was drinking, apparently my bladder became so distended and stretched out that then when it went back, it failed to work altogether, meaning that I would feel it filling, and you feel like you really have to go pee, but you sit on the toilet and you could push and push all you like, and you can't pee. It's got to be one of the most horrifying things I've ever gone through, and tremendously painful. It was unbelievable. The first night, I, the, anyway, I don't really want to talk about this, but basically, within 24 hours, I put out almost 9,000 cc's of urine, and that's very unnatural. Normally, it could be maybe 2,500 max for a person. They thought it was a typo. They thought it was 900 when they pulled up the report on the computer. The nurses told me. Anyway, long story short, survived that complication. It really sucked. So another one for you to be aware of if any of you are going to have hysterectomy. It's a complication of both hysterectomy surgery and general anesthesia. And just the bladder, the pressure on the bladder sort of reshifting without all those organs up against it. It's definitely interesting, and definitely wasn't something I expected. It wasn't pleasant. So other than that, healing was really easy. There's definitely like uh, fear, and you want to be gentle with yourself, and I was super careful how I was moving around for the first week. I found myself getting really antsy. I think taking 6 weeks off work and lifting, which I was advised to do, is too much. It kind of drove me a little crazy, plus not having an income for that time. So I've gone back to work at probably, I would say, the 5 week mark, or just short of it, maybe 4.5 weeks, and I've been careful not to lift anything heavy, and it's been fine. All in all, I think the surgery went fine, but it was a little more than I thought that I was really informed about or really in for. I don't know. if that makes any sense. But certainly the kind of pain and the post-operative bleeding, as well as this urinary retention problem, which lasted actually 7 days, just so you guys are aware. And I was sent home from the hospital and had home nursing, which is great. Thankfully, they provide that. Our insurance here actually takes care of that for a nurse to come visit once a day and check out everything. But yeah, that's basically it. I don't really know what to say. I'm super tired. What else has happened? I basically have picked a new surgeon for top surgery. I'm gonna go with Dr. Lauren Brown. He's in Richmond, British Columbia, which is about 20 minutes from Vancouver. And the reason that that has happened is I actually got a letter from Dr. David Musto in Abbotsford about must have been about a month ago. It was just after hysterectomy that it came in the mail saying he resigned. So the one surgeon that was appointed by the province I live in to do top surgery 100% for free up front, covered by the province, to be done in a public hospital, has resigned. So that was definitely kind of a crushing piece of news for us all. And how am I dealing with that? Well, I've contacted the ministry and my top surgery, my portion, their portion is $1,500, my portion is $7,000, and I have to now come up with that up front. And there's some talk that I might be reimbursed for that money if that apparently does happen sometimes. I'm not holding my breath. I've asked for it in writing 3 times from the Provincial Health Authority and have received no response in the past month. So looks like the rest of the world, I'm not feeling sorry for myself. It's fine. I kind of half expected something like that to fall through. I mean, it really sucks for sure, but oh well. Suck it up, I guess. Raise $7,000 and go get my chest surgery. I still want to do it this coming May. I'll have been on T for 2.5 years, and I just don't want to have to go through yet another summer, yet another summer, yet another summer, on and on, of double binding and going to work in a hot environment. So, because if any of you are line cooks out there, you know that when you put those binders and jackets on and go to work as a chef, it's brutal. So I just want to get it over and done with, and I don't really care if it has to come from student loans or credit card debt or anything. What really pisses me off is me and my partner had saved $4,200 a year ago, and when we found out that my top surgery was going to be 100% covered under the surgeon and blah blah blah. And of course, so stupid, we blew it. We put it back into living expenses and school and tattoos and stupid stuff before I had the surgery done. So it really is like starting back at square one. I've got $0. I have some credit, and I need to clean up some other credit, and then hopefully I will be able to get my surgery next May. So that's what's happening. No more free top surgery in British Columbia, y'all. So whatever. At least this is done, and I don't have to worry now about this surgery. And, everything's out. The mounting medical literature on ovarian cancer and cervical cancer, that's certainly of a concern. So I don't really think that hysterectomy is, from what I understand and what my physicians and surgeons have told me, it's not really an optional surgery for trans guys, because you don't know 10 years, 20 years down the road if you're going to get cancer, and that's why getting hysterectomy is important. Anyway, I hope you guys are all well, and maybe I'll make a video at some point when I'm more awake and less grumpy. All right.